You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
This will only make Caleb Williams better. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of KIEQ on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, also do me a huge favor by also liking today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic. So, Bears fans, we all know that the Chicago Bears will only go as far as Caleb Williams takes them. And he has so many high expectations on his shoulders to be good right away for the Chicago Bears as soon as his rookie season and help lead this Bears team to the playoffs as soon as this season. And the Bears are really doing everything in their power to make sure that he succeeds in the National Football League. And according to reports, the Bears are busy putting a plan in place for Caleb Williams ahead of the 2024 campaign. Jeremy Fowler at ESPN actually had this to say on Caleb Williams. The Bears are working overtime to get him used to taking the ball under center, shotgun, play action, all the nuances of their NFL-style offense, which he didn't always use at USC, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler said during Sunday Sports Center. I'm told he's really taking to that. I've spoken to his personal quarterback coach, Will Hewlett, who got him ready for the draft, who says since early April, he's been working on the Bears scheme, cadence, footwork, and that he knows that's going to protect him long-term, Fowler said. He's also using his arm strength to try to see what he can get away with at OTAs, resulting in occasional inaccurate pass to interception. That's okay, trying to work out the kinks until September. Bears fans, he also said this in his article. From Chicago's perspective, whether Williams lives up to the expectations or not will determine the fate of the franchise for years. Bears fans, I also wanted to show you what Courtney Cronin also talked about on how Caleb Williams is progressing so far with the Chicago Bears. Check this out.
Well, Gary, he's had an up and down spring, which is to be expected for a quarterback learning how to play at NFL speed for the first time. We saw him out there 2 weeks ago, struggled during the red zone period, but 2 days ago when we were out there for OTAs, the offense bounced back and Caleb Williams looked a lot more comfortable, particularly in a 7-on-7 period where he completed 13 of 15 passes, including a deep touchdown over the middle of the field to DJ Moore. Granted, this was against a secondary that was missing 4 of its starters, but the way he operated, his footwork was much cleaner. He was throwing on time. Those are the things that stood out to Bears coaches as they get ready for mandatory minicamp when the full complement of this roster is expected to be in Lake Forest, where they can get a real feel for how Caleb Williams will be going into training camp and how much more progress he'll need to make until that point.
Bears fans, I absolutely love to hear this because it feels like the Chicago Bears are finally not messing around when it comes to having a plan for their young quarterback, especially for Caleb Williams. This franchise has failed time and time again in properly developing a quarterback the right way. And it seems that they are finally doing the things the right way and making sure Caleb Williams is successful. For one, Ryan Poles went out and got him more weapons in Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze. You already have DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. You also added DeAndre Swift and Gerald Everett as well. You added to the offensive line. You added to the defense as well. This defense is already a top 10 unit going into the 2024 NFL season. And then you added also to the offensive coaching staff, starting with offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, a guy that is going to continually play to Caleb Williams' strengths and make sure he is comfortable and make sure he's doing things that he actually likes to do and things that Caleb Williams will do well. And maybe he won't call things that Caleb Williams doesn't do well, right? So he's going to play to Caleb Williams' strengths 24/7. And that is going to help Caleb Williams be successful early on in his NFL career. And you have to understand that the transition from college to the National Football League will never be easy. And Caleb Williams will have his growing pains, right? You've already heard it early on in OTAs where he had a really good day and he also had a really poor day. But guess what? He then bounced back and had a really solid day as well. So Caleb Williams understands what he needs to do. Obviously, they're surrounding him with the right coaches and the right pieces. And you could just tell that Caleb Williams is really taking all of this in and is trying to stack these good practices, taking in all this information from his coaches and maybe the veteran players on this team. And he's translating that onto the football field, and he's going to continue to get better every single day. But it starts out with Ryan Poles and what he was able to do to really build this football team around him, not only with the players he added, but the coaches he has added around Caleb Williams in order to allow Caleb Williams to be successful early on in his rookie year with the Chicago Bears. But overall, Bears fans, it's really great to hear that the Chicago Bears have a solid plan in place for Caleb Williams, and that they are going to be working overtime to get Caleb Williams used to their NFL style level offense, right? Something that Caleb Williams maybe is not used to from his time with USC. So it is definitely going to be a transition. But once again, the Chicago Bears have a solid plan in place, and they were in a really unique situation because they knew that they were going to draft Caleb Williams months before they actually selected him with the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. So they were able to come up with a solid plan and really communicate with Caleb Williams and what they were looking for in the cadence and the nuances of an NFL style offense. And he was able to work with his quarterback's coach prior to the NFL draft to really prepare himself for what the Chicago Bears were actually looking for in him as an NFL level quarterback. And at the end of the day, Bears fans, you want to make sure that Caleb Williams is making his mistakes during OTAs and during training camp and making sure he is learning as much as possible on what the Chicago Bears or Shane Waldron is looking for within this NFL level offense. That way you can adjust those kinks right prior to the NFL season. So Caleb Williams will be overly prepared as soon as week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. So Bears fans, overall, I just wanted to come on here really quick and share this bit of information with you guys on a Sunday. I'm really pleased to hear that Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, Shane Waldron have a solid plan in place, which I didn't expect anything less. Caleb Williams is a number 1 overall pick. He already has loads of talent, and we all understand that if they can get Caleb Williams up to speed and get him comfortable early on in his NFL career, this team can do some serious damage and hopefully make the playoffs and maybe even make a huge run in the NFL playoffs, because we all know the NFC is wide open. So Bears fans, we are one day closer to Chicago Bears football. I am super excited to see what Caleb Williams is able to do in his rookie year. But once again, huge shout out to the Chicago Bears for actually having a solid plan in place to develop Caleb Williams properly for this organization to hopefully become our franchise quarterback for years to come. So overall, Bears fans, before I let you guys go, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of KIEQ on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on KIEQ on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to KIEQ on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.